It's up for grabs now!
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira!
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it!
Fabulous solo goal by Thierry
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Arsenal Lounge. I hope you guys are good. Everything is good. I've taken a bit of time just chilling, relaxing. We haven't been around. Lev has been struck with curse of arguing with Tom. So he's lost his voice as a result, and he has not been well. But how are you now, Lev? You good? You feeling better?
So is that what was medically wrong with me? The curse of Tom?
The curse of arguing with Tom Canton.
Tomitis.
That's it.
No, man, nah. I just listen. If you can hear, my voice is still messed up. I've been ill for a few days now. It's like what, 4 days, 5 days, something like that. I'm on the mend now. Better. I mean, look, it was just my voice, really. When you're doing podcasts, you can't talk. It's a bit pointless, isn't it? But yeah, I'm glad to be back, bro.
Me too, man. In a funny way, I've missed the shows and going back and forth with people. Let's go in the chat, see who's around. Martin says, hi, everyone. Hi, Martin. Start stream we have. Boris is here.
What, Johnson?
Neil. Wow. Let's not talk about politics even, man. The cheek of that fucking Rishi Sunak. Anyway, Lynn, hope you're good.
Yes, Lynn.
Johan. Boris is here, Sean, and
Johan says I've been smoking too many Cubans.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you for being here. Please make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you're new. If you're watching this on a replay, please make sure you hit the like. And thank you for all of you who have hit the like, even though you're watching the show after and making comments. We always try to read most of your comments. So. We both have not been around for a while, Lev. So where do we start? Let's start with an idea. Look, I'll put this in the title of the show. That is checkpoint 2. Right.
Okay.
So in a transfer window. So in about 20 days' time, we're gonna start the season. Okay. Yeah. So I'm still.
What's the rush, man? What's the rush? We've got loads of time. What's the rush?
Well, listen, there's an argument that I've seen people put forward, and we're going to come to this, that people saying, yeah, we're going to start the season in 20 days' time, but we actually got to end of August to complete the signing. And for me, that is a really ridiculous argument because I'm all about planning and preparation.
Yeah.
Right? When the season finished, Edu came out and said, there is a plan. We have a plan. Right? I don't think there is a plan. Or if there was a plan, it has not worked. Because you're about to start the season in 20 days' time. I'll give them credit for signing Gabriel Jesus, right? Good signing, in my opinion, not
very
enough,
good.
But a good signing, right? They got him in early as well. So he's now with the team going through. So all the credit on that one, right? But the areas that we have always talked about from the end of last season, so when the season finished, we've done shows with Tom and Mo. And all of us have said, right, we're looking for a midfielder to come in, a replacement for Thomas Partey, a replacement for Kirantini, possibly a backup right back. And none of these are coming in. I think it's quite safe to say we're not going to see a striker coming in now.
I agree.
So, so it's checkpoint 2. Season is about to start in 20 days' time. And there's a real argument to say that we're not ready, or we're more or less the same team as last season, with the difference that around us, people seem to be improving and improving well. And in some cases, nicking the players that we're linked for, which we'll come to later on. So I know you can't talk a lot, but
I can talk a lot. I just sound a bit husky, but
you can't shout as well.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, what I want to get across is, it's not negative, to be honest. Let's just get that out there first, right? We've done some good business. We have done some good business. I think Gabriel was a good signing. Could be great signing. You just never know. I think we're yet to see the best of him. Maybe with a focus up front, I think we will see the best of him. It looked great when he came on in pre-season, although let's be honest, it was only a second-tier German team, Nuremberg, but he made a massive difference. My concern has always been, and my argument has always been, as you know, that we have failed to address the most key areas season upon season for God knows how many years. So what I wanted us to do is, if we were going to act fast, fixing those key areas first. We did one with Gabriel, great. With Jesus, sorry, but centre mid for me is still a bugbear for me. I think we need two. I will still say we need two. Now, we have been linked with a couple of names, but again, they seem to be either a box-to-box or attacking midfielder, right? I haven't yet to hear anybody say, oh, we've got cover for DM, and it seems to be that we have toyed with the idea of Martinez. And may I also add, if you look back in the previous shows, I suggested we were wasting our time with both Rafinha and Martinez. Remember that? I said, why are we going...
Hold your thoughts on that, Lev.
Yeah,
I will come back to these two, because this is actually a big talking point of today's show that we're going to come back.
Yeah.
So if you want to carry on and leave those two out for now.
I'll leave the names out. But look, all I wanted to do is address the key areas. And right now, still, as far as I can see, things are still up in the air. People have argued we've got plenty of time. Now plenty of time is getting boiled down to 20 days. The bugbear again with Arsenal every season upon season, pre-season and training periods is that we don't get everything done early and we're not prepared 100% when the season starts. And that's what I wanted to see. And so far, when I'm looking at it, I still have concerns because I don't understand the strategy. I know some people are boiling it down to tactics and this, he's going to do that. But let's be honest, no one really knows what the plan is, but everyone's acting like they do. At least I'm just going to say, I don't really fully understand this strategy yet.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't. And speaking of which, I think the same thing is happening that happened last January. We were told last January that they cleared out a lot of people off the wage book. So we're going to have a big summer. We can, sign, players. That hasn't happened. It doesn't even look like it's going to happen. And I think what happened last January, and I've always stood by my theory on this, that we were never in for Vlahovic.
Yeah,
okay, Vlahovic was just a story that was put out by Arsenal and by people who journalists or people who leak things out for Arsenal. Arsenal tell them news and they come out with it. And I don't want to mention names at all. So the story was out there. And during January window, there was no protest. There was no bad atmosphere. There was no sense of disappointment because everybody was saying we're in for Vlahovic.
Look, not just that, we were in the hunt for top four.
Yeah,
so,
we're in. We're trying to get the guy. Oh, it's between us and Juventus. It's between this, and people buy these things. People buy these stories. And at the end, we didn't get him. And if you're really in for a £70 million striker in January, as I said, that means you're desperate for a striker. So if it's not going to happen, 5-6 days left, 2 days left. Yeah, surely there would be a plan B. So you'd be thinking, right, that's not going to happen. So at least we're going to go for X or Y. I more or less think the same thing is happening again. With the likes of...
I understand what you're saying.
Hold on. Let me finish, right? So the same thing is happening with the likes of Rafinha, with the likes of possibly Martinez, right? Look, everybody were happy, right? We're going for Rafinha. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be another Brazilian. People putting stories out. People putting picture of him in an Arsenal shirt. This, that, the other. Everyone was happy. Nobody was moaning. Had you dare moan, and we did, we were told, I was told a lot, oh, you're negative, you're this, you're that, you don't know, oh, give Edu a chance, give out there's a video of me and Mo, right? And I told Mo, I don't have confidence that they will sign any of these things. And he said, you're negative, you should give him a chance. We will get 2 quality strikers, we will get a midfielder, top quality midfielder, and we'll get another. And that has not happened. So there was no complaint, right? So it's very convenient for these stories to come out, and fans are quiet, they're trying. Look, Edu is trying, Arteta is trying. We're happy that they're doing something. And then Jesus comes in. And now it seems to be that we're in for Zinchenko from Man City, which apparently is Arteta's top priority. And I'm thinking, if he was your top priority, why were you in for Lisandro?
Had a lot of top priorities.
Exactly. There was a lot of them. And all of these is by accounts and people that they claim they know this, and nobody knows, as you said earlier. So what's your thoughts on what I said? I think some of these stories are just stories that are put out there to keep the pressure off of board Arteta and just keep the fans quiet for now. And at the end, they will say, "Oh, well, look, Barcelona." Look, you see, my story. The ending of the story is this: well, listen, if Man United want to pay this much for Martinez, let them have it. I've seen tweets, Lev. I've seen tweets on Twitter of people saying we've actually tricked Man United into paying £50 million for that player. Arteta has tricked Man United into doing. And I'm thinking, how stupid must you be to even go as far as putting a tweet out like that? And
look, can I answer that? And so, look, firstly, I'm not going to blame Arsenal for everything. Right, we've got to be a bit realistic here, because agents do put out stories when they've got players, right? They want to try and get the best deals for them, especially if a player has got a specific target as a club that he wants to go to. They will try to hype up the pressure a little bit for that club to react. So they'll pick someone like Arsenal. Arsenal's easy pickings right now because we're a massive club that hasn't achieved greatness for a little while now. So it's easy to throw Arsenal in the mix and use us. So I do think agents do that. Let's be real. However, there has been situations as well that, this one you just mentioned with regards to Martinez. If you look back on previous shows, I was about to say earlier, I suggested that Martinez, just before the World Cup, has been playing under Ten Hag for the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons. I have to double check, but at least a couple of seasons. He's excelled under Ten Hag. I suggested if he was going to go anywhere, he's going United. You're not going to risk your World Cup place to go to someone, a team you don't know, a manager you don't know, and risk that, especially when left back is not 100% as a position, and he's not 100% to play in midfield. So for me, it was always going to be Man United and Ten Hag. And if anything, they would have pre-agreed between Ten Hag, Ajax, and Martinez that, look, Ten Hag would have told his Ajax guys that he's very pally with, I want Martinez. I'll help you guys out to get a good deal. And then you would have used the likes of Arsenal, if they were interested, to bump that price up. And do you think Ten Hag cares if Man United pay 50 mil? He knows they'll pay that money. So 1, he's doing Ajax a massive favour. 2, Ajax are giving him the player he wants. And 3, Martinez goes to Ajax, Man United, knowing he's going to play. So that, for me, was already done deal. We discussed it with the recruitment process and looking at what could drop out, if you remember, a week or 2 back. The Rafinha one, very similar. He'd already personal terms with Barca. He's already said he wants to go Barca. So why were we wasting time? That was my question. Why weren't we? I mean, why turn around and say, oh, we don't want him if he doesn't want to come to us, when we already knew that he probably didn't want to come to us? These are things that annoy me. So, yes, sometimes Arsenal may have been linked with players. Some of it might be Arsenal doing a bit of PR, but the others could be agents doing it too. Now,
no, I agree with you, Lev, and I understand that agents putting talks out, but in terms of Rafinha especially, I don't think his agent would put Arsenal out there to hurry Barcelona into doing a deal.
No, but he almost got Chelsea involved, though.
Yeah, but I don't think.
And if Barca fell through, Chelsea were a better option.
Listen, I don't think Chelsea. I think this was always between Chelsea and Barcelona, and Arsenal. They were never in for Rafinha. I don't think they were ever in for him. Which brings the question of who we actually in for, because so far we haven't signed the players that we should have signed. We've signed a kid from Brazil, which everyone says, oh, for the future and so on, which again, fine, you got him, but I
Bring
don't
that
understand.
back up
We're
as
not
well.
worried about future. We're talking about now, right?
Yeah.
Then we signed a player nobody knew from Portugal.
No,
And
he's very well. He's very revered in Portugal.
in Portugal. What you telling me before we went in for him, everybody in Arsenal knew who they were, and when the season finished, they said, "You know what? We should go get Fabio Vieira. He's a top player." No,
Well, no, but I have heard from various places that he is a top player, and they were
after
gutted
we
to lose
signed
him.
him,
Listen, I don't mind.
after we signed him,
I
right?
don't mind. There's players we don't all know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna accept that.
Hold on. After we signed him, you before we signed him, you didn't even know he existed. And I'm not. I mean, go at you. It's just like me.
No.
Nobody knew he existed, right? So we've signed him again. Not a player that will solve any of our problems, and that is it. As we speak,
I don't know, bro. We did need someone who could break the lines. We did need somebody a little bit more creative. And Pepe is going, I think. I don't know yet. I personally don't have an issue with the
I thought we
Vieira
had
signing.
Martin Odegaard was the man. You know,
Yeah, but
everybody was like, "Oh,
I think they're
Odegaard."
different types of players, man. But like, look, I don't have an issue with them going for attacking players. I've got no problem with that. Let me just get that clear. My concern is we are not Man City, we're not Chelsea, we're not now Newcastle. We don't have endless funds like some of these guys do, right? So first, address the areas that are an issue. If I see that and then you go and get some decorative cherries on the top, I'm happy with that. My issue is not buying attacking players. Yeah, I love attacking players. My issue is if we have a budget, go for necessity over luxury first. I've always maintained that. Magambo, I think, said in here, the World Cup thing was nonsense. It's all set. That's absolute rubbish because from now till December, anything can happen. If you're sitting on the bench for 4 or 5 months from now till November, December, and someone else in your position is doing really well, then why couldn't you lose your position if there's competition? So Magambo, I don't agree with you on that. But what I wanted to do, I'm looking at what we're going for. So let's break down what we're going for. Zinchenko, right?
Hold on. Before you move on to
go on.
Zinchenko, let me just talk to you about this fact. I hear what you're saying about Fabio Vieira, right? My point is, before we signed him, nobody knew of him. Nobody knew of his qualities. We've gone and spent large amount of money on him, right? He's coming. The first question that I've seen a lot of people have of him is his physique, that he seems to be very small. And is he strong enough for Premier League or not? 2 is he is not a player. This is what me and you are agreement with. He's not a player that would come in and solve our main problems.
No,
right?
he's not.
If attacking issues, if one of the players gets injured, if Odegaard gets injured, we can live with. Right, you can bring Emile Smith-Rowe there. We can move things around. If Thomas Partey gets injured, it's done. Your midfield is gone. We've seen this end of last season. Tierney, Thomas Partey, they both got injured. Season over. So we're in agreement on that one. And you wanted to talk about what they're going for, Zinchenko.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to jump the gun, but like this is what confuses me a little bit. For me, when I looked at that team from last season, I would have said, look, 2 strikers. We already said that, right? But they've decided to go Jesus and put faith in Nketiah. Listen, they're going to live or die by that decision with Nketiah because for me, the jury's still out on him. I would have preferred to go for a second striker. But let's leave that now. We've done that one to death. We have to accept we're not getting another striker and be done with it, right? So then midfield. My issue with midfield last season was when Partey got injured, we didn't have anyone adequate quality, anywhere near that quality to take over from Partey's position, apart from an El Neni and a Xhaka who we've had for the last 5-6 years and never finished above 5th with those 2. And let's be honest, that 5th position recently was with Partey a lot of the season before he got injured. So what I wanted to see is we were looking for a replacement for Partey if he gets injured. But then we're going all out for a replacement for Tierney in case Tierney gets injured, right? Now, that makes sense. But what about your central midfield? That's my issue. Like, okay, sort out your centre first.
What worries me is they looking at this play and thinking if Partey gets injured, he can come and do a job there. And if Tierney injured, gets injured, he can come and do a job there as well.
It's like a 2 or 3 for 1 deal, isn't it?
The problem is, what if they both get injured, and this has happened quite often? Okay, then what? And plus, for me, right, I would prefer to have a proper a left back as a backup for our left back, and a proper central midfielder, right, to come in, because you can't say, oh, there's a guy who can play left back. He can also play. You normally can't do 2 things at the same time.
Jack of all trades, they call it in this country. I don't know if you've heard Jack of all trades, master of none, right?
Yeah,
that's what they say.
Zinchenko doesn't start games for Man City, so I think he'll be okay coming here and not starting games for Arsenal. That's if he doesn't come in and at the end of the game.
Some in here are saying that Zinchenko won't be back up.
I don't think so.
Let's take that as well. If Zinchenko isn't back up, if Zinchenko's not back up, then that means all we're doing with Zinchenko is buying a £35 million left back. Yeah. Now, what if Tierney doesn't get injured all season next season? What happens then? I'm not saying it's a big if, but then 35 million on somebody that's going to play left back and someone in here has also said we're getting a centre midfielder, Tielemans or Paqueta, right? They're not Thomas Partey types. We do need a Tielemans or a Paqueta type. Don't get me wrong. 100%. I'm behind that.
I don't think we're in for Tielemans either.
Well, this is very strange to me because we need a Tielemans or a Paqueta type, but then we need another. That's my argument. I'm not being negative.
Listen,
I'm just being logical.
Let's talk about that, right? So we've got Odegaard.
Yeah.
They went and they got Fabio Vieira.
Yeah.
Right. If they go and they get this, what's his name? Not Tielemans, the other one. What's his name? I forgot.
Paqueta.
The guy in him, Paqueta. If they go and get him, then I'll be sitting here scratching my head. So where's Vieira going to play? Where is he going to play?
Well, he could play wide, can't he?
Who?
And he can play in a 10.
Who's that?
Vieira.
Okay,
he can play out wide.
What's going to happen to Odegaard and Saka? Or is he going to replace Martinelli?
Bro, listen, I don't mind.
Where is Paqueta going to play?
Listen, Paqueta would play next to Partey. That's how it would work. Paqueta's a left-sided centre midfielder. He was at Milan from around 2019 to he done 2 years, I think, around 2 years at Milan. He was under Gattuso, who was the manager at the time, who's a midfielder himself. So he knows a good midfielder when he sees one, right? He was doing well under Gattuso. Gattuso got sacked. Then things went a bit pear-shaped for Paqueta. He ended up going to Lyon. He's done exceptionally well there. So obviously now people are looking at him. For me, he plays next to Thomas Partey, a bit like you would have had a Vieira and Petit type, but Paqueta's got a bit more about him going forward. I haven't got an issue with that either. But if Partey gets injured, then who comes in for Partey? That's what I'm asking the people in the chat. I know we linked with centre midfielders, but who comes in for Partey if Partey gets injured? Answer me that in the chat.
That is the main issue that we've always talked about, even from the end of last season. Lyon apparently won £60 million for this guy. Do you see?
No, I don't believe that. And there's people saying,
do you think he's worth that much money?
Not quite that much, although it has been.
How much do you value him?
Well, I mean, you're probably looking 40, 50 really normally, but people have bumped it up to about 58. PSG were apparently looking at him. Look, he looks like a technically very good player. We do need strength in depth, guys in chat. I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is get your fundamentals correct, then sort out your strength in depth. We haven't sorted out our fundamentals and we're still decorating around the edges. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about something else as well. Bernd Leno's is still here. Apparently Fulham won him, but they want to pay £11 million for him, and Arsenal want closer to 20.
How long's he got left on his contract? Do we know?
1 year.
So where's the bargaining? Where's the bargaining position with that then?
Well, we're not really good at selling players, so I don't know what's going to happen on this one. There's still quite few players that need to be sold to generate some money. But the team have gone to America for the preseason and American tour. But the question that I've seen a lot of people asking is that quite a lot of youngsters have been left behind. Right?
You know what's a good
Coutinho has been
point,
left
bro?
behind.
We took 5 goalies out with us.
Yeah, I mean, but we left the likes
we
of
left like
Coutinho and those guys
Yeah.
back at training ground. So I mean, those 5 keepers are Runason.
Is he still here?
Yeah, he's gone on a tour. Leno, Ramsdale. I don't know the other 2. Oh, the Matt Turner. And the other guy is from the reserve. I don't know his name. And speaking of reserves and youngsters, Chelsea have got one of our promising youngsters today.
That makes no sense to me, right?
So
because
I think
we've gone and
he's
got
gone in the top
Martinez
3 as well, hasn't he?
Well, look, if I'm him, he's one of our most talented youngsters from what I'm hearing, right? I've been hearing about him for some time. You're looking at it, you've already got a couple of people ahead of you, like, you know, in the team, there's a lot of youngsters. You're thinking to yourself, though, I'm going to be the next. And then someone comes in with Marquinhos for 3 million in your position, or in, you know, who could play in your position. You look at that, and maybe perhaps he's assumed he gets more game time at Chelsea, but then Chelsea for more game time is a bit suspect, in my opinion, as well. Is he going to get more game time? Chelsea have a habit of loaning out their players. We could have done that with Amari, surely. It doesn't. I don't understand why we did that.
I don't think Chelsea bought him to come and play in first team. You know, Chelsea are making some really good signings in a minute. Sterling, Koulibaly. So I don't think he's the one that they purchased. I think they purchased him for the future. And it's not a good sign for me that he's leaving Arsenal. And I'm, you know, your mind wanders sometimes and a lot of different things. And is it a situation where he's looked at Eddie Nketiah, he's saying, well, you've signed Eddie Nketiah on a contract, £100,000 a week, right? I want X. I'm not saying for a minute that he's asked for £100,000 a week, but maybe he's asked for, I don't know. I don't even know how much he's on, but let's say for argument's sake, he's asked for 50, 60. And he's saying, well, if you don't give me, I'm off. And Arsenal like, well, no, we're not going to pay you. And then they try to work something out. And then he's gone to Chelsea because, correct me if I'm wrong, Lev, but since Arteta has been here, he's only brought in Coutinho through the youth system. And he's played 1 or 2 games and he's well short and we haven't seen him again. There's not been any other player that has actually come through the youth system into the team and onwards. Well, under Arsene Wenger, this was a routine. Even under Unai Emery, Saka broke to the team under Unai Emery. Emile Smith-Rowe break through under Unai Emery. They were all given a chance. But it hasn't really happened under Mikel Arteta. And not only that, we haven't given them any chance, now we've lost the likes of Omari, Hutchinson, and all the best to him. I don't have any bad feelings.
Some are saying it's money related because we were.
I would not be surprised, man, because you know when I've said this a long time ago. So when you give Eddie Nketiah £100,000 a week, right?
Someone's just called that you was going to do this, by the way.
Huh?
Look, someone's just called that you was about to do this.
No, of course, because it's the truth. When you give Eddie Nketiah £100,000 a week, you open a lot of doors. Look, if I'm working for you, Lev, right, and I see you giving somebody who's not really, he hasn't been a great employee of the company, you're giving him a massive pay rise, and you've extended his contract and promoted him. When my time comes, right, whether I'm good enough or not good enough, right, I'm looking at that. That's the benchmark for me.
Yeah, but come on, he hasn't even made the first team. I can't.
No. Listen,
I can't agree with that.
Listen. He has not made the first team. Remember Florent Balogun? Yeah. He didn't break through first team, but he was asking for. I think he was asking for £60,000, and I think he got it at the end. Yeah. So maybe I'm just saying, when you do that, you may say that's about Omari Hutchinson, fine, right? Bukayo Saka, if I'm not mistaken, is on £40,000 a week. Yeah, Odegaard is less on less money than what's his name? Nketiah.
I understand what you're saying. We've set the benchmark.
When the time comes,
want more.
When the time comes, look.
Are you frozen? Looks like Shaheen has lost his internet connection again using Talk. I don't know what's. Sorry, I shouldn't have even said the name there. But oh, there he is. Oh, you're back. You cut out there for a minute.
It's just my laptop does this updating kind of thing every now and then. But what I was just saying, if we don't qualify for Champions League, right, next season is the time that you start negotiating with Bukayo Saka. Okay, what is he going to ask for in terms of salary?
No, I understand what you're saying, but you know what? I'm going to be straight with you. Right now, I couldn't care less about all that jazz. I really couldn't, bro. Because, like, all I want us to do is find the right players for the right holes. Like, Saka is a quality player. He deserves what he's proven he's worth. Pay him what he's worth. Is 100k too much for Eddie Nketiah? Yeah, probably about 50k too much. But look, I hope he plays amazing this season and scores 15, 20 goals, and I'll be more than happy to be proven wrong, right? There's people in here saying there's speculation. Well, we all speculate. That's what these shows are about. No one actually knows what's going on. It is speculation. Secondly, there's people on here saying that Xhaka and El Neni could cover DM. What is wrong with you guys? Do you want to keep doing the same things over and over again and expect more? Like, that is not quality in your engine room. You're swapping a Ferrari for a Punto. That's not the way it works, guys. You don't. If Partey gets injured for 6 months, do you want to rely on El Neni for 6 months? Let me just ask you that question. Like, come on, guys. Now, let's be serious. What I'm saying is get quality in the right areas first, then get what you need attacking wise. We do need attacking players. I agree with you, but get your fundamentals correct. We failed in last season in big games in midfield, and obviously we lost to fullbacks as well. That was big, but midfield, we lost badly in the big games due to the fact that we didn't have the quality in depth in that area. That's it. So look, if they want to pay my man Bukayo Saka 150 grand, that's their prerogative. Justify it. Do you know what I mean? Justify it. If he justifies it as a player, I'm good with it. If Eddie justifies 100k a week, I'm good with it. Do I think he does right now? No, I don't. Simple. And that's not bashing Eddie. It's just being honest.
Yeah. I mean, look, you know my thoughts on Arsenal and finance and saving money. But I just think, that contract just puts them in an awkward position when they come to negotiate with any
you're
player.
right. You're right. If you go 100k for,
and I agree with you. Yeah, and I agree with you that we shouldn't really be focusing or concentrating on that. We should be focusing on addressing the issues that still has not been addressed. And 20 days time, the season will start.
Bro, 50 mil would have addressed our midfield at the start of the season.
Well, this is what I was coming to.
50, bang, one hit. And now we're going to spend 35 on a left back, potentially. 15 mil short of two players at 50. Make
two quality Premier League proven players.
Yeah.
But we seem to think that it was not needed. We move on. And what is concerning for me is both Edu and Arteta were central midfielders. So they know the importance of this position. There is all sort of argument when it comes to Basuma. Oh, there was this case, there was that, the other. I always said there are ways around it. I'm sure Tottenham did exactly that. Signed a player, good player, and I can't believe Basuma for £25 million. And then we went and bought Fabio Vieira for more than that. I don't think we're in for Tielemans, which is again a concern, because if you want Tielemans, go get him. You're waiting for what?
Not being sold yet. Like, it's funny. We were talking about that house analogy. Sorry, bro. We were talking about that house analogy. If you know what I'm talking about, personal terms, house sales, and then now his house is actually up for sale. How ironic is that? Apparently it is. But what I'm asking is, if we agree in personal terms, why are we differing now? If personal terms means it's a done deal, why is he not with us?
I don't even think we agree terms. What is the point of going and agreeing terms with a player and then we're leaving at that? What's the point?
Well,
we were never in for him. We never agreed terms with him. I don't understand why we didn't go for someone like Tielemans. You don't fancy Tielemans. You don't think it's right. Cool. Who else? What is your plan B? What is your alternative? I read somewhere that they may be considering keeping Lucas Torreira in order, as a backup for Thomas Partey.
What does that say to you, though, bro? I don't think that was true, by the way. But what
No,
does that say?
I'm just saying what I've read.
All right, okay. So let me ask you this: in a top-level sport of Premiership football or any other league, Italy, Germany, wherever you go, the spine is always the most pivotal area. You have a top central midfielder, but then if he gets injured, you need someone of a similar ilk who could come in and hold his ground there for as long as he needs to. Why would you spend 35 million on a left back when you could have solved a problem with two top players in midfield for 50 mil, right? That's 15 million pound more. You could go and find cover for Tierney, but obviously they're maybe thinking Tierney is a bit dodge and he can't go the whole season. So then shouldn't you be looking to offload Tierney if you're going to have Zinchenko, like some suggesting here, as the first left back, right? Are you going to keep Tierney, who's the captain, who's won things, he plays for Scotland? Are you going to keep him on the bench? Is he going to be happy on the bench if he's fit? He's not. So you're going to have to, for me, fullbacks are easier to find cover for. Right? I'm not underestimating fullback as an area. It's very important in the modern game. But you can have somebody who could do a job that's defensively solid. Might not be as good going forward, but he will hold his own and it won't affect the team too much in the sense of conceding or losing possession and things like that. But central midfield, you can't get away with. So if Partey, just for example, these rumors that were floating around, these allegations, accusations, because nothing's being confirmed, let's just say something happens there. Who takes over? Let's just say Partey gets a knee cruciate, a cruciate ligament injury. Who takes over there? Do I want to rely on Xhaka and El Neni? No, I don't. And this is where I start questioning things. 50 million on White, one centre back, but you're not willing to pay 50 million on two centre midfielders. That is where I start to question things.
Don't forget, there is a plan. We were told at the end of last season by Edu, there is a plan. We know what we want. We know who we want. There is a plan. Do you remember these sentence? Now you have to look back on it and question it. And you think, well, it's either that he was telling the truth and they don't want anybody in midfield. They're happy with that.
I don't think they do. I don't think they want a DM. They want another centre midfielder to partner Partey, but I don't think there's no DM coming in.
Do you think? Let me ask you something. Do you think Arteta would actually drop Granit Xhaka? Remember, this was the guy who wanted to leave, and Arteta convinced him to stay because he was important to him. And he's played him. He's played every minute under Mikel Arteta.
Listen, if Partey and say a Tielemans or Paqueta was in, I think those would be the starting two. Then, to be honest, is Xhaka a really bad as a cover? Probably not. Would I play him in Carabao? Yeah, maybe. Early stages Europa, you can probably get away with it. I understand we do need these type of players, but what I don't understand is why people are shouting about depth. So why not improve your depth, move the likes of El Neni and Xhaka on, and get two better versions?
Can I ask you something else as well?
Yeah, go on.
That's fine, and I'm all right with that. Do you think Granit Xhaka would be all right with being rotated, not starting, not playing, considering the World Cup business, considering all of that?
Good point.
And
Good point.
You got to remember this as well. And if he's not, and he would ask to be sold, okay, you're then back again to the point that you need another midfielder.
I think Xhaka's so established at Switzerland, though, he'll get in the team anyway.
Yeah, but
isn't he their captain? He's their main guy, isn't he?
Is he going to be happy with that? He can go play somewhere else. And who's going to come? Because nobody, there's been no rumors about Granit Xhaka at all. I
don't think he's going. I don't think he's going.
Yeah, so all of this, see, there's a lot of things that, look, we're sitting here, we're discussing our opinions. We're not saying we know what is going to happen or we know what Arsenal want to do. We're actually saying the opposite, that we don't know what they want. We don't know who they're going for.
Yeah, that's what I'm
we
saying.
know is they have not addressed the problems that was agreed by quite a lot of number of fans in the fan base. That we need a midfielder. I find myself not agreeing with a lot of things that certain people say, but we agree on this, that we needed a Thomas Partey replacement. We needed a Kirantini, a replacement. We needed 2 quality strikers, and those have not been addressed. So, as I said, checkpoint 2 on the transfer window. Season is about to start in 20 days' time, and we still haven't. I'm still,
And we're not saying they're not going to do stuff, right? We just saying we don't understand what the strategy is.
So far. It's so far. Because look, if the transfer window comes to a close, right, and let's say they buy Zinchenko, okay, and that's it. They don't buy anybody else. Where do you think that team finishes?
5th, 6th. Listen, Zinchenko is not like some people on here as well. They were saying, "Oh, who's going to sign Partey back up? Like, who's going to be Partey back up?" But if you get somebody who has competition for Partey, it could be Lokonga. Not sure. Is a risk again. I just think there's too many risks going on now. Lokonga is a risk right now. Eddie Nketiah is a risk right now. Nothing is guaranteed, is all I'm saying. There's a lot of hype about our window. And when I look back at it from a distance, I think, what is this hype? Jesus is a good signing. I'm excited about it. Do not get me wrong. But we're risking Eddie Nketiah coming good. If he doesn't, Jesus gets injured. Answer me this. What then? If Jesus gets injured,
the same team as last season.
Right, if Jesus gets injured, we're back to Nketiah. If Partey gets injured, we're back to El Neni. And you guys are happy with this in the chat. What is like? I don't even know what to say to you.
No, there's some people
I am not happy with El Neni back up.
Yeah, we should be this. We shouldn't be critical. No. We should, but we should be, because I'm a little bit concerned about what's going on right now. We're going to have another shit season. It's not like we've gotten an okay bunch of players, above average bunch of players, and then you've got a really good manager that is going to get the best out of them. No, he's still under a lot of cloud. There's a lot of question marks over him, right? So it's not looking great right now, man. We're still being sold the same bullshits, the same lies, the same stories. Oh, we're in for that. Look, when the season starts, let's go back on it. When the transfer window opens, right? We're in for Tielemans.
Yeah.
A lot of people convinced that we agreed terms with him, right? We're going to sign him. Imminent. Tielemans to Arsenal. Announcement. Tielemans to Arsenal is advanced. I've seen people who are not even Arsenal fans, but they've got channels that are football related. They put out tweets about Tielemans and Martinez because they know they get reaction, they get likes, they get retweets. They trigger the Arsenal fan base, right? He's not here yet. Then it was Rafinha. Rafinha to Arsenal is imminent. Arsenal in for him. Arsenal this, Arsenal that. Nothing happens. Then it was Serge Gnabry. Arsenal going for Gnabry. Oh, bring him home. Bring him home. Is this, is that? Hold on. Nothing happened. Lisandro Martinez. But again, Arsenal going in for him, negotiation. Martinez to Arsenal advance. Oh, it's great. Arteta is pulling moves. Arteta is... Nothing happens. You've got to look at these from Vlahovic to here and say there is a common reoccurrence of certain stories that Arsenal are for some quality players, and all the fans are happy. They say, "Oh yeah, look, Edu is doing bits. Oh, Edu is cooking. Edu is on the barbecue. Oh, Edu that." Right? And at the end, nothing. Arteta at the end, nothing. What did we get? Players that... yeah, so maybe not kind of thing. So that's what is concerning me about this transfer window and about how Arsenal moving. I think at best we get a central midfielder and a left back. If they sign Zinchenko, I don't think we're seeing that midfielder again.
Let me tell you this, right? And it's sad to say, but if we get a central midfielder and a left back, I'll be surprised, because. And I think if we do get a central midfielder, it won't be someone that can cover for Partey. And let's get this straight as well. Partey is not even a full DM himself, right? He plays it well. He can do it, but he's not an out-and-out DM realistically. If we don't have an out-and-out DM, we don't have one. And there's someone else in here, Dave. Dave says Nketiah is better than Richarlison. Based on what? Because I'm not being funny. We had a few good games with Eddie Nketiah. Does Eddie Nketiah play for England? First does he get into the England squad right now?
No.
No, he doesn't. Does Richarlison get into the Brazilian squad? Yes, he does. Do you want to look at the strikers available at Brazil and then the competition he had, the likes of Neymar and Jesus ahead of him? So, listen, I don't rate Richarlison at 60 million, but to say that right now, it's just too quick, too much, too soon. And I'm not whinging. I'm just giving my opinion. If you don't want to hear it, don't watch.
No, listen, yeah. Sometimes I don't understand the unconditional, not unconditional, the blind love and support that is out there for Arteta, and subsequently for the players that he approves. Because he's going on about, Nketiah this, I want to keep him, and now all of a sudden, people are going on about as if Nketiah is like some world-class player.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
You don't dare have a go at Nketiah. Whereas if you check his stats and his record at Arsenal, it's not great. It's shit. It's rubbish. He came in and he had the run of 5-6 games. He scored 2 against Chelsea, 1 against Everton, and I think he scored 2 against Leeds or something. Where was he on the game that mattered? Spurs and Everton. What did he do? How did he influence the game? And don't come out with this rubbish that, he wasn't given any service. What did he do to influence the game?
You see, this is, again, look, I'm not saying Eddie won't come good. I have my doubts. What I don't understand is why we've gone from a few games where he's played well to all of a sudden everyone is convinced. At least, you know what? I will say this. At least I'm honest with myself. You guys are deluding yourselves in the sense of you're convinced he's ready, he's right. And if you are, then I'm asking you questions because based on what can you confirm he's ready? And we got super chat here. Taron ready, right? $5. Thank you for your help. This is really biased. We are really in for Zinchenko on the left-sided mid and a winger. You guys are making a lot of assumptions. What do the media do? We all make assumptions. None of us know what's going on. We're not assuming. We're not saying we do. We're actually saying we don't know what's going on. We don't understand the strategy right now, is what we're saying.
But Lev, I just feel people who turn around and say, Nketiah, we should give him a chance. He's going to do. I think they put in Eddie Nketiah before the club. It's not about Eddie Nketiah and his development. Fuck that. It's about the club and us competing and winning.
Yeah.
People are saying, no, we want Arteta to succeed with his players, possibly in expense of the club. And I'm saying, no. Mikel Arteta and his players and the ones he liked, they can all fuck off somewhere else. Because I want my club to succeed.
Listen,
I want my club to compete and win things.
I don't want Arteta to fail either, bro. Right? I'll put that out there right now.
I want him to fail.
Listen, I don't want Arteta to fail. And where did you get this big thing saying get your questions ready for us? Is this new year? Easy,
it's new. I want people to get their questions ready, so we're going to put them on the screen. If you got any questions from me and Lev.
Look, can I just answer this one though, very quickly? Look at this. Sure. Michelle Schwartz. So Lev, you are right and others are wrong. Who said that, bro? Who said that? In fact, I've actually said I want to be wrong, bro. I don't do these shows thinking I'm right, but I don't want to be right most of the time. But did I say that Martinez was a wasted time? Yes, I did say that. Was I right in this instance? Yes, I was. I was right. Did I say that Rafinha was never coming to us? Yes, I did. Was I right? Yes. Am I always right? No. No one is. Not you guys in the chat, not me, not anyone. The whole point of being a fan is we discuss these things. We're not always right, bro. Sometimes I'll be wrong. Sometimes you'll be wrong. There's nothing wrong with discussing this thing, man. You know, I just don't understand. Where is this mentality come from that if you discuss your own club and your opinion differs to somebody else's, then it's because you're negative and you don't want your team to do well, or you're doing it for views, or you're doing it for clout, or you're doing it because you think you're always right. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong that with this midfield that we will achieve things. I want to be wrong that we are going to get a DM, and when I say we're not. I want to be wrong that Partey will go through the whole season uninjured and have a good left-sided centre mid with him that will win us things. I want to be wrong that Zinchenko isn't going to be like the okay signing that I believe, and he turns out to be amazing. I want to be wrong. There you go. Does that make you feel better? Because I do want to be wrong.
Anyway, guys, let's have your questions on the chat. If you want to ask me, all of you that are coming up with these comments, this and that, this is your chance. This is your chance to put your questions directly to me and Lev. We'll start with Hugh. Thank you very much, Hugh. You've always been around. You're one of our regulars. We don't normally agree on things, but it's always amicable.
I'm a bit moody because I'm ill.
Do you think Arsenal have a chance of winning the Europa League? I think we have a good chance. If we don't bottle it, remember we're quite good at we'll make it to semi-final or final, and then
why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we have a chance of winning it? Oh, I don't deny we have
man,
a chance of winning it.
I don't think.
Wait, listen. If Emery could do what he did with, is it Villarreal last season, right? You know, if you got a good manager, you could achieve anything. PW, should Arteta be sacked if he doesn't get top 4? Yes. After this season,
I think he should have got the sack after the season. He fucked up Europa League. That's my opinion. It would have been a better place right now, but it is what it is. We are where we are, and
Rangers got to the final Europa last year as well. So
yeah, they did. Van Bronckhorst got the final, but yeah. I want to see them at the final. I want my team to win, but I just don't know, man. The way things are right now, I'm just not confident. Who do you think will be the main clubs fighting for top 4 spot? No problem, I can tell you that. Liverpool, the top 4. I think it will be Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United.
What?
Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United.
Was what for top 4?
No, for 4th.
For 4th, I thought who was going to be competing for top 4.
No. Who do you think will be the main clubs fighting for the 4th spot?
Yeah, it will be those 3, and that's why it's going to be so tight that whoever makes the right signings and has the right players in depth will get that top 4, that 4th spot.
Aren't there any good left back from bottom of half teams?
I'm sure there is, especially from Premier League. I mean, look, who's the guy at Brighton, that fullback?
Oh, fuck, man, he was good. I think Man City, did they sign him? Or
it escapes me.
Cucurella or something.
Cucurella,
like
that's it, yeah. All right, that's just one example. Lamptey, he's right-sided, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can find good, even Spence signing for Spurs potentially. I think you lot underestimate Spence. I really do.
No, listen, you've got to. Sometimes things may not be what you want to say, but you've got to admit that Tottenham are building a good team with a good manager.
Get Gunnar Yeto's question up. He's put one in.
What, this one?
Why so negative? Still talking about the Arteta sack and talking negative about the transfers. I don't get it. Please be more positive. Bro, I'm not positive or negative. I'm just realistic.
No, listen. Let me answer him, yeah?
Do you want me to just... Wait, do you want me to just say everything's amazing? Our signings are amazing. We've sorted everything. We're ready to go.
Let me just address this, yeah? Our reaction and our thoughts are created and generated by the way Arsenal conduct themselves. We don't come here, sit down and say, right, Lev, we're going to start the show today. Right, let's bash Arsenal today on this. I don't enjoy particularly doing that. I'm used to my club winning things. I'm used to my club going through a season unbeaten. I'm used to my club beating Real Madrid, Inter Milan away, competing, going to Champions League final. Right? So you can't tell me to be positive and be all cushy and be all nice when I don't believe in a manager that we've got. And also, I'm seeing in this transfer window that there are real problems. That if Thomas Partey gets injured, this is going to be a problem.
How long has this problem existed?
This is the alarm bell.
How long has this problem existed?
Hold on. If Tierney gets injured, it's going to be a problem. You can't tell me to be positive when I'm seeing all these things. If they go and address it properly, I would be positive. I'm up for it. Right, let's go. Boom, let's get in. Next season, I'm all behind it. Right? But when I'm seeing Basuma going to Tottenham for £25 million, and I'm sitting there scratching my head, why are we not in for that guy? Why we didn't spend £50 million and solved the midfield problem once and for all? Right? I can't be positive. I'm sorry.
Right. Can I ask a question? Yeah, and to everyone in this chat, Would you have preferred a midfield consisted of Bruno Guimaraes and Partey, or Partey with Tielemans, or Tielemans with Bruno Guimaraes, or Basuma with Tielemans, or would you rather stick with El Neni and Xhaka? Let me ask you that question. All I'm saying is, like, our expectations, everyone's expectations are different. Why should I be overly positive just because you are? Why should I think like you and you think like me? Nobody's saying that. And you know what? At the end of the day, when that whistle blows and the game starts, I want my team to win just as much as you do. Just because my opinion differs to yours, it don't make me negative. I have my own aspirations of what I want to see from my club. So why don't you just respect that instead of calling me negative just because I don't agree with your viewpoint?
Exactly.
Now, look, fact of the matter is, I would have preferred my expectations of an Arsenal midfield come from what I've seen as a fan over the years, even going further back with the likes of Paul Davis in midfield, right? And then your Ray Parlers and people like that. There's no one in our Arsenal midfield outside of Partey that comes anywhere near that level of midfielder, right? Your Gilbertos, your Petits, your Vieiras. I mean, the lists go on. So what has suddenly made you believe that Xhaka and El Neni are good enough in that midfield? This is what I don't understand. Does it make me negative to have a higher aspiration level than you? Come on, man. Let's get out of this inability to discuss and debate. I don't get it.
Can I answer your question when you said about the
go on.
midfield? My ideal midfield, and I've said this many times, would have been Partey and Basuma, because they would have just hold the proper firm in the middle, and then you could have give license to the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. Don't worry about the defending side of things as much. Go out there and express yourself. Go out there and play properly. Go out there and be free, right? Because you know you've got two midfielders that will sit back. Yeah. And you know, we've done this before. You know, Petit and Vieira, Gilberto and Vieira. Do you know what I mean? Gilberto and Vieira, that was a proper midfield, man. Proper midfield.
And that's all I'm saying, bro. Like,
anyway, let's go through some of these questions again.
Can you ask Lynn's?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Lynn.
What do you think I'm gonna say, Lynn? Do you think I'm gonna let me ask you this question. Do you think I'm gonna be really gutted that I was wrong, or that I maybe didn't see it the way they saw it and I was wrong? Or do you think I'm gonna be over the moon that we finished above Spurs? Like, come on, that's a silly question. I don't want my team to fail. I don't. But what I don't want is risking things. We risk things. We put things at risk. One injury away from stuff which shouldn't be happening.
No, I agree as well. You know, I would love it, and I would love to be proven wrong. This is an interesting one from Diallo. Who's going to last longer, Conte or Arteta?
It all depends on performance, doesn't it? Yeah, let's be honest. It depends on performance, and I hope it's Arteta. I really do.
Yeah, but I just think if things don't go well for you, I think Conte has got more know-how about him to turn things around than Mikel Arteta. And Arteta, maybe. A lot of people, listen, especially if they don't really do well in transfer window, 3 or 4 defeats on a row, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be on his case. Anyway, listen, we've been doing this for an hour. Lev's voice is not great, so I don't.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
We want to give him a bit of rest as well. So,
Ben Larson, give it a rest, bruv. Honestly, sorry, bro. I'm not in the mood for this shit. You hate Arteta. What? No, we fucking don't, man. We don't hate Arteta.
I thought you were talking to me, man.
Bro, like, I'm so sick of this bullshit that you can't debate or discuss something without either wanting your team to fail or hating on somebody. Get over yourselves, man. This shit's been going on for years. People debate football for years. You go to the pub, you used to debate. Did they agree? No. Does it mean that when the time comes, you don't want your team to do well? No. Stop thinking this way, man. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came, commented, done a super chat. Much appreciated. We hope that when we're talking about checkpoint 3 of the transfer window, things are a lot different, and we'll be feeling a lot better about what's going on in the transfer window. Lev, last words.
Last words. Guys, we are all Arsenal fans. I have love for all of you. If I don't agree with you, I still love you. You wear the same color as me and you support the same team as me. I want the same thing as you. Lynn, I got you. You're always supportive. I didn't mean it in that way. Someone says don't sound like I'm debating. I'm struggling to get my voice out. Am I debating? Sometimes I don't even agree with Shaheen. I'm debating with you guys, right? So how am I not debating? Come on. Now look, let's be positive. We want things to go well. But right now, I'm not in the same camp as you guys. I don't think we have addressed everything. And I'm uncertain that we're going to. So that doesn't make me wrong. I'm making my assumptions based on 15, 20 years of what I've seen prior. We have never addressed these areas. Why should I think we're going to now? Until I see it, I won't believe it. But that's it, man. I love you guys, and that's it. You know, I want the best for my club. I want the best for you guys, man. That's it. Simple.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day and the weekend. Today being a Friday. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe.
Please.
And we'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful afternoon or evening or wherever you are, whatever it is the time.
Oi, yeah, top up on that vitamin C, man.